On request, I'm making a video that'll teach you how you can get Source Filmmaker to scale up properly when you're using a 4K monitor. Now, as SFM is not the only program that has this problem. For example, I know 3ds Max and Substance Painter are also programs that have this issue. So basically, when you're using Windows, you're running at 4K, you have what's called DPI scaling you can set up, but it's not perfect and certain programs don't really work with it. But if you're using Windows 8 or above, there's something you can tweak in Windows to manually tell these programs to scale properly with the DPI stuff. And so to do this, you need to go to the registry editor and create a key as well as what's called a manifest file. Now, you don't need to worry about the manifest file. I'll put a link for that in the description. You can just download it and I'll explain here in a bit. But the first thing you need to do is make a registry entry. And just to show you real quick how SFM looks, it's pretty good. It looks exactly how it would look on a 1080p monitor, proportionally speaking. So it scales just fine when you do this tweak. So in the registry editor, what you need to do is, to get here, first of all, you need to go to Windows Run. That's the Windows key, and then R. At the same time, that opens up this Run panel here. Type in regedit, and then push OK. And then what you need to do is navigate. And so we're just going to go to his local machine here, HK local machine, software, Microsoft. And then you need to open Windows current version, side by side. And inside this side by side folder, you want to create a new dword value. So right click new, dword. And then make this dword prefer external manifest. That's what it's going to be called. Make sure it's exactly that and it's in this exact location. And then you're going to click on it, change the value to 1, push OK. And before this will actually apply to anything, you'll need to restart your computer. But the next thing you'll need is a manifest file. So this is basically telling Windows to look for that manifest file. And the manifest file itself is telling Windows that the program the manifest file is tied to should be scaling properly. And there's nothing unique in the manifest file. It's just a script thing. The only thing unique about the file is the name. You notice I have it called sfm.exe.manifest. Now, if I were doing this for, say, 3ds Max, which doesn't scale right either, I would call it 3dsmax.exe.manifest. So you got to have that exe in there because that is the full name of any executable, though you don't always see the exe part. So just make sure it's called the name of your program, then .manifests, and this will be in the link. You can rename it and put it in wherever. And then this manifest file needs to be located in the same folder as that program's executable. So right here I have sfm.exe and there's the manifest file. And then when you load up SFM, it should be working just fine. It should scale just fine. Now there's one thing, if you just go to properties of SFM here and I go to compatibility. If disable display scaling and high DPI settings is checked, this won't work, so just make sure that's not checked. Again, this only works for Windows 8 and above. So that's all there is to it. And real quick, if I just rename this to something that won't work, I'll just put a D in the front of there and I close SFM without saving and load it up again. Give it a second. You'll notice that it won't scale this time. It'll just be, the tiny UI that's hard to work with. So that's all there is to it. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, ask. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.